is corrupt. Very corrupt. Go back to Genesis, from the beginning, Genesis 2nd chapter, verse 21. And the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib which the Most High power had taken from man made he a woman. So woman comes from a man. And the rib which the Most High power had taken from man made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife. And they, the two of them, the man and the woman, shall be one flesh. Okay? So he took Eve from amongst Adam's people. That's what it's talking about. It's a whole breakdown on that. That's what it means by she was bone of his flesh, and the flesh of his flesh and bone of his bone. She was of his family line. So there were people called the Adamites, but that's another topic. So let's look at go to 1 Corinthians. The 7th chapter. 1 Corinthians 7:1. It says, now concerning the things whereof ye wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. See? It says good for a man not to touch a woman. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. So you ain't just going around sleeping with anybody and everybody, especially nowadays. You don't know what you're going to get. Sleep with somebody, you tell them what they have. And people not telling you what they have, just so they can have somebody, and next thing you know, they done gave you what they have. All these STDs and all these different problems that people have. You take a chance in dealing with whoever right now, boy, this wicked world. He said, let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence. And likewise also the wife unto the husband. Let's look up benevolence. Y'all have your dictionaries? Wait.
You want us to look it up?
Yes, because you might have a different meaning than what I have.
Oh.
Benevolence, an inclination to perform kind or charitable acts. A kindly or charitable act. And charity means love, loving act. You have anything else?
Anything. Well-meaning and kindly, big-hearted, good-natured.
Okay, right. So that will bring about love. Verse 3. 1 Corinthians 7 and 3. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband. So this is what we have to look at, you know, showing strong love toward each other. And sometimes you have to find ways, especially this is the world's most wicked times ever, to keep, you know, they always talk about how to keep that fire going, you know. It's like you look at and another thing, you know, when you build a relationship with your woman in love, you build a relationship with your husband in love, then a lot of people they look at, okay, well, let's deal with, if you want to deal with something, okay, look at virtuous woman. You look at, when you go into Deuteronomy 31:10 down as a virtuous woman, then, because you know this world tell you that a man's supposed to be able to take care of a woman to have a woman. You got to do everything for the woman, so she becomes the king and the queen to me. Because all she got to do is just lay home and the man go take care of her. But when I read the virtuous woman, she was up at night with the candlelight on, getting the food ready, going out there, dealing with selling things, making things, selling it to the merchants and all of that. So how is it that being Edomanized and being in this world, and especially the Israelite men don't have the privileges that the so-called white man's world has set up for the white man? A lot of us don't have that opportunity to have the same benefits as others. So how does this virtuous woman have all these skills and she's taking care of the house, and you read about a virtuous woman, then they tell you that the man is responsible for taking care of this woman totally, when she's virtuous. In her mind, she's virtuous, but she's just laying around like the king and the queen. How you vouch for that? I mean, how was that? Let's look at virtuous. Proverbs 31:10, right quick. It's self-explanatory. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband does safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. He gonna trust in her, it says, that he ain't gonna need of the spoil, like you go out to war and you get all the things that these men have of jewels to be able to sell it, to be able to bring it back to your woman, or say you ain't gonna need that. Or whatever it is that they have that you can please her with. Say, he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. This is a virtuous woman. She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. I mean, she's working. I'm reading it, working with her hands. She is like the merchant's ships. You ever seen a ship? How many material things they can put on a ship? Say a virtual woman like a merchant ships. It didn't say ship, it said ships. She bringeth her food from afar. She bringeth her food from afar. She rises also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household. She's preparing food. And a portion to her maidens, if she have maidens. She considereth a field. She check out a field, and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hands she planted a vineyard. With the fruit of her hands, virtuous. She planted a vineyard. She, not he, but she grinded her loins. She girded her loins with strength, and strengthened her arms. She, not he, but she perceived that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not out. Her candle goeth not out by night. That means she's up working in the night. She layeth her hands to the spindle, she know how to sew, and her hands hold the distaff. She stretches out her hand to the poor. Yeah, she reaches forth her hands to the needy. She, not he, but she, the virtuous woman, is not afraid of the snow for her household. You hear that? She is not afraid of the snow for her household. It's snowing, oh, it's snowing out there, I can't do nothing. But the virtuous woman is not afraid of the snow for her household. For all her household are clothed with scarlet. She decking them out with garments. She make of herself coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. Her husband is known in the gates. That's the elders. We're at the gates. They know him. The elders know him. When he sitteth among the elders of the land. That says. She maketh fine linen and selleth it. She maketh fine linen and selleth it. She dealing with marketing. And delivereth girdles unto the merchants. And she delivereth girdles unto the merchant. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. She opened her mouth with wisdom. She know this truth. She know the proper application of knowledge. And in her tongue is the law of kindness. She looketh well to the ways of her household. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. So she ain't idle. She's staying busy. All these things, if she like the merchant ships, she got to have a whole lot to be selling to the merchants. So she's not going to be idle. Idle mind brings forth evil. Her children arise up and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praises her. Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellest them all. See? Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain. Looking at a beautiful woman and thinking that you're going to get what you want to get, and say it's vain, it's worthless. But a woman that feareth the Most High, she shall be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. Let the elders praise her for what she has done. That's a virtuous woman. So the way this world is, so I say everybody been edemonized, you've been brain duped, you've been brain polluted. You got to work together, but that's what it says concerning a virtuous woman. And then you look at, go to Ecclesiasticus, the 26th chapter, in the Apocrypha. It says, verse 1, blessed is the man that hath a virtuous woman, a virtuous wife. For the number of his days shall be double. So a man that don't have a virtuous woman, the number of his days shall be less than double. For sure. A virtuous woman rejoices her husband, and he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace. A good wife is a good portion, which shall be given in the portion of them that fear the Most High. See? Verse 14, it says, a silent and loving woman is a gift of the Most High. A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Most High. And there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. That's why brothers have to know this Bible to be able to instruct the women in the proper way of how they should be. Because just like I say, a silent woman, a silent and loving woman is a gift of the Most High. It also comes back in verse 27. It says, a loud crying woman and a scold shall be sought out to drive away the enemies. See? That's not something that's good. Well, that's righteous in the eyes of the Most High. So let's go back to 1 Corinthians, the 7th chapter. Pretty much going to cover a lot of what we need here. So 1 Corinthians 7:3 said, let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband. Now, go to Exodus 21st chapter. It tells you in Exodus 21 and 10. Let's read this is very important. I'm gonna look at something else first. Just to bring some balance into the situation. Look at Deuteronomy 21 and 15. Wrong book, select it. Deuteronomy 21 and 15. It says, if a man have two wives, one be loved and another hated, and they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated, so it's the law. If a man have two wives, one beloved and one that he don't like, one hated, and they have borne him children, both of them have brought forth children from this man, both the beloved and the hated, and if the firstborn son be hers that was hated, that he don't like, but his firstborn son is from the one that he don't like, then it shall be, when he maketh his sons to inherit that which he hath, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated, which is indeed the firstborn. But he shall acknowledge the son of the hated for the firstborn, by giving him a double portion of all that he hath, for he is the beginning of his strength. The right of the firstborn is his. See? The right of the firstborn is his. So, but it just lets you know, that's the law if a man have two wives. Some people say you can't have one wife, but I'm looking at it and say if a man have two wives, one beloved and one hated. Exodus 21 and 10. It says, if he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish. So that means if a man do get another woman, you can't take away from the first wife, take away from what you was doing for them for this other wife that you got. Even if you did hate her. Then like you can't do that. That's sin. And if he do not these three unto her, then shall she go out free without money. Meaning that's dealing with a man's daughter. Say if, verse 7, if a man sell his daughter to be a maidservant, and she shall not go out as the men servants do, if she please not her master, who have betrothed her to himself,